Young Sapper was killed in Afghanistan. Talked to his mom and dad, and they were so proud. He talked to his brothers, and they were furious. They were angry. They went down the Highway Heroes, went to the funeral, got cart chained. Those brothers came up to me and said, "Sir, we're sorry. Sir, we're sorry, we're angry." Because we did not know that Canada was sharing in the grief. That all those men and women, all those police, firemen, emergency services, and all those overpasses were sharing the grief, showing the pride of the nation, and was saying thanks to a family.
I wrote the book, The Highway Heroes, because it has a special meaning to, I think, everyone in this country. Fallen soldiers come along from CFB Trenton to Toronto when they're repatriated and come along the Highway of Heroes. So it's just something special, and it resonated, and it's true grassroots. Not one person, not one community started it. It was there for the people, because of the people, and it's for our fallen soldiers, and I believe it's for their families as well, to let them know they're not alone.
2.5 years ago, Corporal Nick Kerr, retired Master Corporal Colin Fitzgerald, and Carrie Tadeau adopted a 1.18 kilometer stretch of the Highway of Heroes in Grafton in memory of Major Michelle Knight Mendez. That act of service in cleaning the Highway of Heroes with soldiers, veterans, civilians, Silver Cross mother Diane Knight, and her husband Ron Knight, and meeting photojournalist Pete Fisher was so impactful that they went back to the Ministry of Transportation and made a request to adopt the entire 344 kilometer stretch of the Highway of Heroes to honor all that gave some, and some that gave all. From Trenton to Keele Street in Toronto, there are 158 blue We Remember signs to remember the 158 fallen soldiers carried home from the Afghanistan War, and 4 large signs to remember the 4 civilians killed. They clean the Highway of Heroes twice a year, weeks leading up to the National Day of Honor, which is on May 9th, and weeks leading up to Remembrance Day on November 11th. The adoption is rooted in 95% mental health and 5% garbage. Although they have collected over 1,250 bags of garbage and truckloads of debris, it's not about the garbage. It's about being on a sacred stretch of Canadian soil that holds a lot of pain and pride, and turning that pain into purpose by being together and remembering how ordinary Canadians stood on bridges to share in our nation's extraordinary grief when Canada's sons and daughters were carried home. Canadians wanted the families of the fallen to know that we are a grateful country. Freedom is far from free, and never was so much owed by so many to so few for our freedom. Under the Highway of Heroes adoption, in honor of Mick, Nick, Colin, and Carrie have certified 156 individuals in mental health first aid, thanks to Sherry Lachine for teaching the course, and Veterans Affairs Canada for covering the cost. $850 has been donated to Mothers Against Drunk Driving Canada for returning the empty alcohol containers we pick up on the side of the off-ramps and on the Highway of Heroes to the beer store. A Highway of Heroes mobile memorial was created, and when the memorial is not on the road, it rests at retired Corporal Brittany Laramie and Master Corporal Arthur Laramie's veteran-owned and operated Iron King Gym in Kingston. There are a number of individuals who cannot physically clean the Highway of Heroes, but ask how they can help support. I am quick to share that they can donate to Project Trauma Support, as well as to the Stan and Back. The belief is that we in Canadian society have a responsibility to help our servicemen and women recover from the mental health issues that are often very complex. As a grateful Canadian, we deeply respect the extraordinary service, courage, and sacrifice that our first responders and our Canadian Armed Forces members perform in uniform. May the names of our fallen, who gave their todays for our tomorrows, never dilute with the passage of time. And may we all commit to effect a great change in our country, remembering and honoring all that gave some, and some that gave all.